Hello everyone, I am the Blue Monster, and this is Trigger Warning. Well, it's come down to this. The fembots just keep getting worse. They keep tearing apart the friendships and intelligence of original characters and have turned them into shadows of their former selves. Let's talk about Fred. Poor, stupid, white Fred is now just a completely mindless gym rat who has daddy issues and takes credit for the entire gang's work apparently, whose nads haven't dropped. I don't know if you remember or watched the original cartoon, but based on my memory, there was a place for everyone and everyone knew and was comfortable in their place. They worked as a team. Everyone had strengths and weaknesses and they worked through them. In this dumpster fire incarnation, there is none of that. It's all about the teen women who at 15 or 16 know everything and can do everything a man can. And they show these woke women naked in a locker room, just covered in soap bubbles in all the right places because, as the showrunners say, sex sells. But then they say, the OG Daphne had no character and was just there to be hot, unlike our version. What? That's one of the first things you see is a naked Daphne in the shower. How is that even remotely? I don't know, I can't. In what world is it okay to sexualize teenagers? Remember, these pesky kids are teenagers, not uni students who are of legal age, unless they decide at the last minute to make all of them 18. As it stands, I believe they are all 15, 16-year-olds. What the actual f***? Okay, breather. Back to Fred. Now, he has a deep, deep, dark secret. I alluded to it earlier. His nads haven't dropped. He hasn't hit puberty. That's his dark secret. And apparently it's becoming harder and harder for him to hide this from not only his daddy, but Daphne and everyone else. Because by 16, I guess according to their thinking, you should be completely done, ready, through it, and ready for sex. They even state Daphne is tired of, quote, over-the-clothes stuff, end quote. Daphne, I guess she wants the D. As I said before about Velma, now about Fred and Daphne, who needs to see Fred and Daphne banging it out in the backseat of the Mystery Machine? I know there are those few widows that would love to see that, but you understand what I mean. Unfortunately, in this incarnation, Fred has been accused of the particular crime that is in the show. And I'm sure because he is a man, he is the reason why he was charged for that crime. And unfortunately, he's forced to talk to the ugliest, least popular student lesbian Velma to prove his innocence. How will he cope? How would he be able to live down looking at, let alone talking to Velma? That's literally the narrative that they're actually pushing with this show. But apparently, he has an epiphany and realizes that Velma's thoughts and emotions have value. This is not the Fred that I know. Fuck me, I don't know any of these characters and their selfish, hateful ways. Did any of the showrunners actually watch this show, or is this just their way to say, this is how it should have been done? There is a word called presentism, and this is what presentism actually means. It is the uncritical adherence to present-day attitudes, especially the tendency to interpret past events in terms of modern values and concepts. So Velma is trying to push the present-day agenda and narrative into a show that was way before its time in its depiction of women and their abilities to think and act independently. Yes, there are some issues I'm sure that we could pick apart if we had to, but this new show is mean-spirited, man-hating, terribly written fanfiction, just like The Rings of Power and just like She-Hulk. But I think it's way, way worse. Remember when Velma was smart and level-headed? Do you remember that? Now she's just a horny lesbian feminazi man-hater who is just trying to get the V, and I guess clear Fred's name so she can be this strong, powerful girl boss who doesn't need a man, but a man needs her because he's so vapid he can't form two thoughts in his underdeveloped pea brain. I'm glad Scooby is not on this show. I cannot even imagine what they would have done to him. He probably would have been this pink poodle that was like this unisex, genderless animal that I can't even imagine. I bet he's honestly digging his own grave deeper to get away from this perpetuous woke bullshit that is now called entertainment. Oh, is there any way that we can start critically thinking with our own minds and push back on this ridiculously woke agenda? I actually thought myself somewhat of a liberal, but I'm slowly realizing that that gap is closing. And the only reason I think this is because of shows like this. It's all about man-hating. Women are the best. I can't. But you understand what I'm saying. Boycott Velma. Cancel Velma. I'm not the one to jump on the cancel culture bandwagon because I believe it's utter bullshit. And that's part of what the presentism is all about. Taking our values and thoughts from now and forcing them on the past. No one knows what they would have done in that moment until after it's done. But people in Hollywood don't seem to understand that. Honestly, people in general anymore don't seem to understand that. This was just a quick one. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please be respectful. By the way, I do want to thank all the new subscribers that have visited me, and I appreciate all the comments and likes. Please keep it up. Let's keep this going. Let's see. Maybe there's some way that, as a group of monsters, we might be able to change this narrative. Thank you for watching. Trigger warning if you made it this far. If you liked what you heard, please like and subscribe. If not, thank you for listening anyway. Take care of yourself and other people. You are truly amazing, and we all deserve to be happy. Have a great day.